Hello, everybody. Welcome to Premier League score predictions for round 9. Mikey, it was tense with the Monday night football. It could have swung with a late Crystal Palace goal, but it didn't. So I've taken the win last week quite handsomely, actually. 10-4. I was bob on. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1, and Forest 1, Palace 0. You had 1-1. So it really could have swung in the last minute there. You also had Man United 2, Brentford 1, which was a bob on for you. Therefore, I have closed the gap somewhat. You are now leading 5-3 in the weekly battle, and it's only 4 points in it in the aggregate, Mikey. You are 63, 59 up. Welcome to round 9.
Yes, thank you, Ben. Yeah, a really bad week for me. Lost the predictions. I think I got 34 fantasy football points, and I spent 4 hours driving up to Ipswich to watch us lose 2-0 against Everton. And of course, I predicted us to win that one as well.
There we go. Let's get into this week's score predictions in the very, very busy week this with Champions League, EFL 3-game week. We've got Premier League either side of it as well. We'd love you to help us out. Get in the comments with your own predictions. Copy and paste the games from the description. You know the scores. Give yourself 1 point for a correct outcome. 3 for a correct result. Give yourself a bonus point if your result has 5 or more goals. Mikey, you're going to start with two teams that we've got to give the flowers to, Leicester and Forest. Leicester back-to-back wins. Forest are 8th in the Premier League table.
Yeah, brilliant start to the season for Forest. It wasn't a good start to the season for Leicester, though, was it? But very much up and running now after 8 points from their last 5 games. They showed loads of character away at Southampton, and then they used their heads and show composure with that set piece routine at the end. It was a little bit fortunate the way the ball went in, but I always like to see a rehearsed routine under pressure like that. It's kind of NFL-esque, isn't it? And Buonanotte looks a serious player as well. So yeah, credit to Leicester, and hopefully Steve Cooper's winning round some doubting Leicester fans as well. Forest got their first home win of the season against Palace, as you mentioned, and they deserved it too. James Ward-Prowse is back from suspension for this game, and Morgan Gibbs-White might be back as well, which will benefit them. Derby match under the lights, so big atmosphere in this one. I think it's going to be entertaining, and I can't pick a winner, so I'm going for Leicester 2, Forest 2.
Yeah, I like the draw as well, Mikey. Hopefully for all those in attendance, it will be entertaining. But I've got to look in the dugouts, Mikey, and say this is going to be low scoring. So I'll take the draw as well, but I'll take the 1-1. And we will move on to Aston Villa versus Bournemouth. Incredible win for Bournemouth because fair enough, Arsenal had 10 men, but often 10 men elite teams still win, don't they? And Bournemouth, great job. Another good set play in that game as well. Villa doing their thing, going down to Fulham and getting the win. Villa are in, so we're recording on Tuesday night. They're in Champions League action tonight, I think, against Bologna. Does that help? Yeah, does that help Bournemouth, Mikey? I'm not so sure it does. I think I'm going to back Villa and both teams to score. Predictable one, Mikey. I'll go 2-1 Villa.
Yeah, I've also got Villa to win. I've got 3-1. I predicted them to lose at Fulham, and yeah, hands up, I was wrong. I was very wrong in the end. Really, Villa just very skillful, really superb tactical manager, but they're also big and physical, aren't they? Bournemouth, excellent result and performance against Arsenal, and they'll definitely carry a threat. But I've got Villa winning this one quite comfortably.
And you get to go first for Ipswich this week. It's Brentford versus Ipswich.
Yeah, we'll start with Brentford. Their fast starting run is over, but they took the lead again, and with a nice set piece against Manchester United. It helped that Matthias de Ligt was on the side of the pitch when they whipped that corner in.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got 3 wins and a draw at home. They've made the G-Tech Community Stadium a real fortress again this season. Ipswich, 2 poor performances in a row and results as well. Bit of an injury crisis at the back as well. We mentioned Tuanzebe last week being injured. He's going to be out for a while. Jacob Greaves is also missing. And Ben Johnson as well, potentially missing for a few weeks. So yeah, it's difficult situation there, and Ipswich are potentially going to end up playing the same back four that they had in League One a couple of years ago, at least for the second half of League One, with Harry Clark at right back and Burgess and Wolfenden at centre back. But yeah, I think this is going to be a difficult game for Town. As much as I want to predict us to win, I'm going to go for the Brentford narrow 2-1 win.
Yeah, I suppose that if you've taken the Brentford victory, I don't know. Can I take the draw? Now I've got to be honest, haven't I? I do think Brentford are going to win this game, and then all eyes really for Ipswich on a massive game against Leicester in a
Leicester.
ridiculous weekend as well, where I think all of the bottom six play each other on November the 2nd. So yeah, maybe the win can come then. I do think Ipswich are going to lose. And there will be nobody happier to be wrong than me, but I'll take a goal off then, and it's going to be depressing, but I'll go Brentford 2, Ipswich 0. Yuck. Brighton versus Wolves, and this may be the only saving grace here. The teams beneath Ipswich, and there are still three of them, have pretty tricky fixtures. This is one of them, Mikey. It won't come to you as any surprise that I will back Brighton to beat Wolves. Wolves are really bad at the back, aren't they? Their goals against column is hopeless. And I've got to give them their flowers. They were pretty unlucky against Man City to lose. Should have got a point there, but Man City do what elite teams do and win when the chips are down. Sorry, Wolves fans, because I've really been piling against them. But Brighton 3, Wolves 0.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also going for a Brighton win, but I'm going for a much more narrow margin. I'm going for just the solitary goal again. Brighton 1, Wolves 0. Just as I started to doubt them, they pick up two fantastic results back to back. But Danny Welbeck is out for this game, and he's been brilliant for this season. So I think it'll be Evan Ferguson through the middle, and he's a very different type of striker because João Pedro's also missing. One thing that maybe Wolves could cling to is that Brighton have only won 27% of games against teams in the relegation zone since they've been in the Premier League, which
That's a
isn't
great
a great
stat.
record. Yeah, isn't a great record. Thanks to Opta for that one. So maybe something to cling to for Wolves, but yeah, I'm going for the Brighton win.
Also, one of those brilliant stats which is completely unfalsifiable, because can you imagine going back and checking who's in the relegation zone at whatever point Brighton played everybody? So, yeah, absolutely tremendous. I'm not questioning the validity of the wonderful stats that Opta hand over to Mikey every week. Now, where are you going to go with this one, Mikey? Because it's Man City versus Southampton. We both went for Arsenal to smash Southampton. Didn't happen. I wonder whether the bonus point is going to be played by Mikey.
Yeah, so I'm going for Man City, surprisingly, Ben, by quite a big margin. As Man City, they're 31 games unbeaten, Ben. Like that, all of those
What is that
incredible
all?
Man City teams
Is that all
over the
comps?
year. And no, I think that's in the league. They haven't lost in the league since they lost
That's nearly a
at Aston
season.
Villa last season. And I swear they haven't even been that good, have they? Well, by their standards, at least. And they've also gained 13 points from losing positions. And that's how you do it, I suppose. There's games that are easy for them. And then when they have difficult games like the one at Wolves, they find a way. And John Stones pops up with a winner. Erling Haaland is 3 games without a goal, though, Ben, which
Rubbish.
usually means he's going to score. And he's averaged a goal every 60 minutes against promoted teams. I'm really not giving Southampton much hope, but they're starting to find goals. I think this is going to be quite a fun game to watch for the neutral. I'm going Man City 5, Southampton 2.
Do you know what? That's a scribble. I was going to say 5-2,
Really?
incredibly, which is probably never, ever going to happen again. And this is all going to become very tactical, because I can't really not play for the bonus point here, can I? If we're both going to assume Man City are going to win anyway. Shall I take one of your glorious Etihad 4-1s, Mikey? Shall I steal that from the Mikey playbook and throw that in 4-1? I will back Man City. Apologies to Southampton fans. I mean, it would be a hell of a win if they can go there and do something, or even get a draw. But you can understand why neither of us are particularly going with that narrative. Mikey has a distinct advantage over me for Everton versus Fulham, because he saw Everton in the flesh last week, whilst I was at a wedding in near Santapod in Northamptonshire, if you've ever been to the racetrack there. I have seen Fulham, though, and it doesn't make it any easier to call because Fulham are very robust, but Everton are improving. I wonder whether this one we might have to go down the middle. I've already had a 1-1, so I will play a Desmond. Everton 2, Fulham 2.
Okay, yeah, I think it's hard when you see a team play quite well and beat your team. You then the next week you're going to go for them to win, aren't you? And that
Of
is
course.
unsurprisingly what I'm doing here, despite me backing Fulham quite a lot this season. I'm going Everton 2, Fulham 1. I'll hold my hands up. Everton were good against Ipswich and deservedly won that game. Dominic Calvert-Lewin just he didn't score and he missed a couple of good chances, but he led the line really well. They've got a lot of strength and discipline in central midfield, and Dwight McNeil was looking like a confident and competent number 10 as well. So, yeah, and Fulham are missing Joachim Andersen, which is a big blow for them. He's suspended for this game. So, yeah, that's why I'm going for Everton to win this one.
Chelsea versus Newcastle is the Scott Parker, Damien Duff. Did Jeremy play for Newcastle as well? The
Yeah, I
fullback
think
who
he did, yeah.
as
But
well.
for me, Ben, this is the Papis Cisse game.
It is definitely the Papa Cisse game, if not the Papa Cisse derby. What are you saying, Mikey? You're up first.
Yeah, I'm going for a Newcastle narrow win. I don't really know why though. I know that's come out
I'm
of the left field,
surprised by
hasn't it?
this.
Yeah, both sides have had a little bit of a dip in form. A real goal drought for Cole Palmer. He hasn't scored in his last two. Newcastle 4 games without a win, and I just look at their starting lineup for the team last week, and I think I like that team, and I can see them going to Chelsea and just raising their game against strong opposition here. And I think this is a game where it might click again, and Chelsea might have a little dip in form after a couple of disappointing results. But yeah, I'm really not sure on this one, but I thought I'd be different and go for Chelsea 1, Newcastle 2.
Mate, that is rogue. And I'm obviously going to back Chelsea and try and take advantage here of possibly being left with a Chelsea home win all to myself. I thought Chelsea were pretty good actually against Liverpool, didn't you? From what I saw of it on Sunday in the big game on the TV. We always like both teams to score, Mikey. So I will flip reverse as I love to do. Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. And here comes another vested interest game. Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. And Crystal Palace are performing the world a wonderful service at the moment. And that service is to keep Ipswich Town out of the Premier League bottom three. But I have to say, Mikey, and I know it's very difficult not to view everything through the premise of the team you support, but having seen West Ham easily beat Ipswich and then go to Spurs and lose heavily makes me quite high on Spurs and what they can do here at Palace. I still think it'll be tight and low scoring, but I've got to back Spurs here. Palace 0, Spurs 1.
Okay, yeah, I'm going for Palace 1, Tottenham 3. I'm expecting a few more goals in this one. Palace have got a really bad run against Spurs. They've won just one of their 18 games against Tottenham, or one of their last 18 games against Tottenham. I think there might have been odds on Edouard's debut. I think he scored a couple of goals under Patrick Vieira in that game. But yeah, they were restricted to shots from distance against Forest, weren't they? Never really looked like creating a big opening in that game. Mateta's been on the bench in the last couple of games. I could see him returning and trying to have a battle with Romero. But yeah, Spurs, although they are a little bit flaky, aren't they? But they're such a force offensively. And Son looked really good on his return. Remember, he was missing in that defeat against Brighton.
Triple step over for that goal, not even a double, was it?
As many as 3. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm expecting him to score again in this one in a 3-1 Tottenham win.
There you go. West Ham versus Man United.
Yeah, I expected a better showing from West Ham at Tottenham, as you probably did after watching them cut Ipswich apart before the international break. Kudus gave them the lead, but yeah, they were all over the place defensively. And Kudus is now suspended after getting sent off in that game. He'll be a big miss for them. And although they have won their last 2 at home against Manchester United, West Ham fans might cling to that. But yeah, United, apparently they were really good against Brentford, and Hoyland's returned to play centre forward, and apparently Marcus Rashford looked really good. So I could see them scoring goals here at West Ham. So I'm going for another 3-1 away win here. West Ham 1, Manchester United 3.
I'm at a bit of a loss on this one. I don't really know which way it's going to go. I think I need to go complete guesswork. Should I play for a bonus point as well? Do you know what? I think I've done all right back in Manchester United. So I will do that, and I'll go for the opposite of what you're saying. No, I won't. I'll go for something more similar, but I'll go for the same margin of victory and just hack off a couple of goals. West Ham 0, Man United 2, with very little rhyme or reason. Now, just to peel back the curtain before we go to Arsenal Liverpool, Mikey left one on me literally just before we hit record. He said, "You're going to be shocked at what I say for that one." Just some mind games in the tunnel, some Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira stuff. That's the type of dirty tactics. Maybe I need to start hitting record earlier and not tell Mikey and hit him with some equally dirty tactics. So I think Mikey might be going for an away win here. So I'm going to dive in with the home win. Liverpool's record, mate, is really impressive. Apart from that game against Forest, they've literally won every game this season, including in the Champions League. And they're probably going to beat RB Leipzig as well, which is tomorrow night. It's a huge, huge game. I tell you what, if Liverpool do win, I think it's like 7-point gap they'd have over Arsenal. And, that starts to get very interesting. But I'm going to back Arsenal. I've been so heavy on Arsenal the past sort of couple of seasons, and it's worked out all right. Probably be a tight one. Probably both teams to score. I'll do my 2-1 home win that I like so much. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, so this is one of the highest scoring fixtures in Premier League football, Ben. I'm going for a 0-0. Just because I think this is, I don't think I've ever predicted a 0-0 on this show since I've been doing it. I just think neither side will want to lose. Arsenal are missing Saliba and Ødegaard. I think they'll have Saka back. Liverpool are missing Diogo Jota. I could just see this being a really cagey first half and then neither side really going for it in the second half. Sky Sports won't be very happy if this turns out to be true. They've both got the Champions League distractions, of course, as well, in midweek. But yeah, I hope this isn't the scoreline, but that's what I'm going for, 0-0.
Get involved in the comments with your own predictions. If you want a 0-0 in the big Sunday TV game, go for it. Get involved and back up Mikey. A couple of bonus points played for both of us as well, unsurprisingly, in the Manchester City versus Southampton game. You get your picks in there, copy and paste from the description. And as usual, 1 point for an outcome, 3 points for correct score. And if Manchester City and this mosquito, whatever is flying above my face, do wrap in all the goals, bonus points come for 5 goals or more predictions. Mikey, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week for some more Premier League predictions.